whether you like football or sport, whether you don't. Danish footballer Christian Eriksen collapsing on the pitch with a cardiac arrest last weekend while playing against Finland in the Euros. They were particularly upsetting scenes for anybody watching, for anybody who's been through this. And I have to say, for me, extremely sad as well, and brought a lot of emotion back. And the reason being because my father went through this a few years ago in front of a whole room full of people. I have to say that, by the way, Christian is recovering well. He was discharged from hospital yesterday. He's doing well, but his life is going to change. Let's talk about those changes with my dad. Welcome, Dad. Oh, are you there?
Must have been.
So there he is.
Ready to speak to you.
Good morning, Dad. Can you hear us? How are you?
Morning. Fine.
Great. Dad, lovely to see you, because I haven't seen you for a week, because you're in Scotland at the moment, and we'll talk about that Scotland game in just a moment as well. But the serious story of the week, Christian sadly collapsing. First of all, did you see it?
No, I didn't. No, obviously heard about it and saw it afterwards. So yes, it was a difficult situation. I think the Danish captain probably helped save his life when he was very much aware of what was going on. Rushed across, made sure he didn't swallow his tongue, and gave him CPR right away, which was crucial at that time. And the physios and medics were on straight away with a defibrillator, gave him a shot, and it brought him round again. Obviously, he died momentarily, and that brought him round. So it was a slightly different case to me, but he's recovered very well. He's out of hospital now, which is very nice. I was in hospital for 2 weeks. He hasn't quite gone through the same trauma as me, so hopefully his recovery will be quite quick. Whether he plays football again or not is another matter. I have to speak to the medics, but he'll certainly be on pills for the rest of his life. So, and his life, as you say, will change.
I mean, he does have to be fitted. They're calling it a heart starter, an ICD. As you said, his life is massively going to change. We obviously, we don't know what the doctors will have told him, but how will that sort of make him feel? I mean, because whether he can play football or not, and we hope that there might be a way he can, this is a big life change, isn't it, Dad?
Well, yes. The ICD is a small defibrillator. It's placed underneath your skin, but it is still proud in your chest. It's a battery that if your heart goes into arrhythmia and stops, the wires from the heart to the defibrillator kick in, and it gives your heart a shock and starts you up again. And the battery lasts for 9 years. So I know exactly when I had my cardiac arrest. It was 9 years ago, because I've just had it changed quite recently.
7 to 9 years.
So it's the problem for a footballer is the contact sport, and the doctors will be worried a ball crashes into it or somebody bashes into him. In fact, they told me I couldn't play golf again at Royal Aberdeen Infirmary, which, it wasn't a big effect on me because I've retired, but I still want to play some recreational golf. And eventually the consultant said I could play golf because it is under your chest, and, when you swing in golf, you can bump it around. And so, but in football, it's different. Contact sports, it's different, and they'll be worried about damage to that defibrillator, and if it's damaged and he goes into a cardiac arrest again, it won't be there to kick in. So that's what they'll be worried about.
Yeah.
So they have to think about a big change to his career.
I mean, Christian, who is only 29, the first words I believe that came out of his mouth when he came to were, "I'm 29. Why is this happening to me?" But actually, we know quite a lot about the fact that this can, it's not an unhealthy person. There is, this can happen to anybody at any time. Isn't that right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's no respecter of age. I mean, your friend Gabby Logan, as you know, her brother had a cardiac arrest playing in the backguard football with Father Terry, and he died. And there's many cases of young people dying. There was 2 footballers in Scotland, one Hibs player, one Hearts player, supporter, in their teens, and they both died in the same day. and then it's just one of those things that it's an electrical thing attached to the heart. It's nothing to do with the plumbing. It's nothing to do with bypasses and things like that. You just have to. Well, I don't know what you can do. You can monitor. There's been great improvements in the arrhythmia, but the whole point is really trying to get more defibrillators out there in the community. There was a defibrillator at the stadium, of course. That's what saved Christian Eriksen's life, because there was a defibrillator there. What saved my life in the Marcliffe Hotel in Aberdeen was they had a defibrillator. Maybe 30 years ago, they wouldn't have had a defibrillator, and so both Christian and myself would have been probably not around today. So it's all about awareness. It's all about getting defibrillators out there, and great progress has been made. And so we just need to do more.